There's a place, a country really, Somaliland. It's what most people would consider when they think of a state. They have a police force, an army, a working currency, as well as trading relations with real countries like Sweden. Somaliland is a functioning country, which is something that a lot of places cannot claim in this world. Despite having all these things, no country will recognize it, not even out of boredom. I mean, the country has its problems, but it's not that bad. They are much better off than their parent state Somalia, who can't really control anything outside of their capital Mogadishu. As such, why not abandon recognition of Somalia altogether and focus on Somaliland, and leave what's left of Somalia's population to fend for themselves? Almost like what's going on now. Naturally, it'd be Somaliland's dream to be recognized as a state and join the ranks of the state system. But if it is, for the most part, going well as an unofficial state, why bother changing it at all? Look at South Sudan, the newest country in the world. The nation was partitioned from their parent state of Sudan in 2011. Since then, the nation has been engulfed in civil war, which is a trend with newly independent countries. There's typically a form of conflict as new countries form, because most countries like to have large populations and land in order to have a large workforce and resources, at least theoretically. Back to Somaliland. There's a reason for countries not to recognize them. Most countries ostensibly want to see Somalia as one united country for the sake of Somalia, despite the fact that they basically have no government. But in their minds, from past experience as precedent, the creation of new countries has a tendency to create acrimony with other countries, especially if you break up said countries to do so, no matter how arbitrary the lines were to begin with. Obviously, Somaliland isn't the only country to try for independence. Many countries have tried. Some have failed, some have succeeded. In fact, the number of states has increased significantly since 1945. Some did it for political reasons like Eritrea, some did it due to ethnic differences like South Sudan. And many states born since 1945 have stayed there, so it stands to reason that if you make it a statehood, you won't go away anytime soon. It's not surprising why states want to be recognized. From a monetary perspective, it's more likely that more investments will come your way. Another big thing is security. States that are recognized are more secure than states that aren't. There's less state death in the post-1945 world, compared to all the states that were created and swallowed up by others due to conquest, like Poland being divided up by Austria, Prussia, and Russia in the 1800s, simply because they could with no consequences. Contrast this to the issues with the Ukraine, and you can see the differences between the two. However, there are 193 countries recognized by the UN, and many more trying desperately to gain the ever-elusive but nevertheless valuable rank of statehood. That said, do we need more states? 193 seems like enough already. What do you guys think? Are there more than enough states in the world? Or should states like Somaliland become independent nations? Join the discussion, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys later.